All right, we're gonna go ask Adam some questions about the 2025 Harley Davidson 2025 Harley Davidson models, and Patch is setting up the good camera for this.
Here it is.
My name's Adam Kostanowicz. I'm the managing director for Harley Davidson Canada. I've been in the job for about 3 years. Long-time automotive executive. I used to work for a few of the car brands. Been into engines and wheels and gasoline for my whole life. I'm actually an ex-technician. For me, turning wrenches, putting gas in the tank, and then hitting the road, 4 wheels or 2, that's my thing. Going into the Harley Davidson business and the motorcycle industry in general has been a natural progression for me for the last 20, 25 years of just being around cars and being a tech. So I'm the head of Canada, so I oversee all operations in Canada. We have a dealer network of 48 stores across the country, coast to coast, and we've got staff of approximately 40 people as well, between sales, marketing, dealer network, HR, IT, finance, you name it. We've got entire operations here in Canada, and I head it up.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a busy guy.
Yeah. I live in airplanes and hotels.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
You know, all like 2025 models is out of the box. That bike is good to go. We both ride very heavily customized bikes. You can buy a stock Harley and it's good to go.
You've heard us use the words factory custom in the past, and we really do lean on that. I mean, you look at these CBO STs here, you hop on that bike, swing a leg over, and you don't need to do anything. It is built for what the purpose of the bike is. This is a race-ready bike. That is an off-road ready bike. The cruisers are meant to cruise.
So if somebody kind of wants that custom look but doesn't want to have to go through and do the work themselves, you've got the Road Glide ST, CBO. But then also, I've still noticed there'll be a lot of people that still like to customize, so they'll go with the Road Glide standard. Harley's really giving people options.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you want to just get it out of the box and never have to do a thing to it, you can do that.
Yeah, so if you go with the standard Road Glide, we have a number of parts and accessories packages that are pre-built and assembled, ready to go out of the box. We've got a parts package ready to go on, and you take that out of the dealership, the job's done. You don't have to put the bike now into another shop for custom work. The bike is ready for you.
We'd go in knowing we're going to get the bike, and then we're going to have to go out and find all the parts we want to get.
I mean, for me as an ex-tech, long projects like that are what you do over the winter for sure.
Yeah.
But come riding season, you want to take that bike straight out of the dealership and get the miles on.
We've noticed there's a bunch of different tunes or names for the handmade motor. What are the main differences between the 3, I believe it is, and how you chose to put those on the different bikes?
Yeah, so those names specifically are matched to the new cruiser lineup. So the 2025 cruisers, there's 6 of them, and there's 3 different versions of that engine to match the motorcycle. So you've got the Classic, which you're going to find on your Heritage and your Street Bob. You've got the Custom, which you're going to find on your Breakout and the Fat Boy, and you've got the High Output, which you're going to find on the S and the ST. And they're tuned and performing in different ways with a combination of intake and exhaust changes, as well as the 3 ride modes that we have now. So you'll have road mode, rain mode, and sport mode. And if you look at those bikes that we match the engines up with, you would look to have a high output engine in the Lowrider S or the Lowrider ST.
Totally.
You would look to have a more flat torque curve type performance out of a Heritage or a Street Bob. Like, you think about the personality of what the bike is and how we've tuned the engine for it, it kind of makes sense. And then you look at the Custom, which we put in the Breakout and the Fat Boy, and that kind of makes sense too, because those are the 2 bikes people are customizing the most.
Sure.
And you want to have that middle of the pack engine performance, the ride modes, everything just paired. To me, it's a perfect pairing. Outside of just the engines being updated for the cruisers, all of the electronics on the cruisers have been updated as well. So wiring, lights, computer, harness. So while the bikes may sort of look the same as last year, we've got some new paint, we've got some new hardware, we've got the new engine. It's a great experience. And if you're coming off of a 24, you will definitely feel the difference Davidson at 25.
Why do you think Harley felt the need to design and develop the Pan Am ST?
Yeah, so first of all, the Pan Am is one of my personal favorite bikes. A Revolution Max engine is something I don't think a lot of Harley enthusiasts appreciate. It's new, it doesn't look or feel or sound what they're used to, but the power production out of that engine is second to none. It's the fastest bike we make as far as I'm concerned. Not too many people want adventure touring. They're not an off-road enthusiast. They're not going to go on the dirt trails. It's like when you buy an off-road truck. I mean, it's cool to say the truck is capable to go off-road, but most people don't go off-road with it. Same thing with the Pan Am. It's a great bike. A lot of people aren't going off-road with it. So we created a version of it, lower seat height, lower suspension, and modified it slightly so that it's street ready and not off-road ready. And I think it's the best combination of the powertrain and the suspension and just everything that the bike offers to make it what most people will appreciate out of that bike.
Do you find that it can kind of pull more people from the street bike world?
Yeah, like I said, it doesn't look, sound, or feel like the traditional Harley, so we're totally talking to a new demographic. I think a lot of people who may not have considered Harley in the past are now looking at that bike thinking maybe that'll be my Harley.
Right.
And I'll tell you, I rode that bike from Burlington, Ontario to Milwaukee in 2023 for our homecoming, our 120th anniversary, and that thing didn't skip a beat. I was comfortable. It took everything I needed to load into it. The wind protection, the riding position, all of it makes it a great touring bike for the road. It was also capable of going off-road if I wanted to do that.
Right. You know, it's funny, the guy behind the camera, we call him Pan Am Pat.
Yeah.
Because he was going back and forth with getting a Pan Am for what, like a year at least.
Yeah.
And loves them. He's ridden them a bunch. He actually ultimately went the Lowrider ST. But I think part of that, correct me if I'm wrong, is that he wasn't planning on doing a bunch of off-roading with it.
Yeah.
But the capabilities of the bike and like the motor, like we said, it seems it's quite impressive.
Yeah, you throw a set of knobby tires on that thing, you're going anywhere, everywhere you want to go, and you can switch over the rubber to whatever meets your needs. But the ST is pavement ready, and you will not be disappointed.
Right. Yeah.
So I ride a Road Glide and Matt rides an ST, and he's got a 128 in that thing. Me, I just put a cam in it because I'm just like, I want to be able to cruise or like long distance on a Road Glide, but I want to get an ST and build it up. He wants to get a Road Glide.
So I have the El Diablo, and I just turned it into a hot rod kind of thing.
So I bought a 2023 Lowrider ST for myself. Yeah, I got the Fast Johnny edition.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I couldn't get the El Diablo. I love that paint set.
Oh, it's by far my favorite.
Yeah.
Colors that you guys have. Yeah. Bikes these years, there's really nice colors.
Yeah. So you got to see that bike in the sunshine because right now in here with the lights, it just looks like a gray flame going through black paint. Yeah. You get that thing in the sun and you start to see colors popping. It almost gives like a 3D flame. Blue Streak, personally, I'm not a chrome fan, but this blue streak on chrome is probably my new favorite color combo this year, just because there's no chance you're not getting noticed on this bike.
Pat's a real big fan of that.
Blue
with the chrome on it.
Yeah.
On the low right. Yeah, that is beautiful. Yeah. It's such a nice looking bike. And again, out of the box, you're like, that's a stock bike? Like, it's pretty impressive, I gotta say.
Something we were going to talk about is like the Lowrider ST. It's almost like anything I would have changed has been changed now.
Yeah.
Like the bags were different size. It comes to the 2-in-1 now. I even prefer that analog looking tachometer. Like
totally. So coming off of the 23 Lowrider ST, I think the 25 is a slam dunk. Hold on.
Totally. It's 100%.
Everything works.
I wish I got that. I wish I got the 25.
Ask me how long it took me to figure out that the bags were at the same size back of that day.
Oh, yeah, of course. I know that's probably the number one of the most talked about things right now is the bags, right?
Pat, did you not have a question about that?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, can you take those bags without any extra hardware and put them on one of the old ones?
Yeah, we checked with the engineering team. The second I saw that, because I was coming off of the Lowrider ST, I asked, can we retrofit that back? And they said, without a hesitation, absolutely yes.
Maybe we'll touch on the Nightster, at least on YouTube with fellow kind of YouTubers. They're seeing like a kind of a trend in people building those out.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't give away too many secrets, but do you think Harley is going to start focusing a little more on that bike since it kind of seems to be getting attention from the younger demographic?
We're the price point once again for the Nightster. The Sportster S now has the super cool Mystic Ship custom color. So right out of the box, you're going to look at that bike and you're like, wow, look at this thing. The Sportster actually got an improved suspension this year. It's got up to 3.5 inches of total travel. If you've ever driven a Sportster S in the past, you might have noticed it was a little bit lacking in the suspension movement. With that 3.5 inch movement now, it's a lot more comfortable and it's super fun to ride.
Right. That actually leads me back to, so between that bike and the Pan America, they're running the same motor, right? Is it all kind of how they're tuned, which essentially makes them perform differently?
Yeah, so the Nightster, you're going to see the 975 Revolution Max engine.
Okay.
And then in the Sportster S and the Pan America, you're going to see the 1250.
Okay, we're more in the M8 world than we are, but we're getting more and more interested in these bikes and these motors because the capabilities, like you were talking about, it's pretty impressive.
The power out of the Rev Max engine is incredible. Dude, I can't say it enough times. If you haven't tried all of them, you have to, because they're uniquely personal to the model they're in, and they just put a smile from ear to ear on your face because you can't believe that this engine is producing this kind of power out of the box.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Like, just reading it, pretty impressive. Essentially, the amount of work I had to do to my bike to get it to that power level versus getting it right out of the box. Yeah. And that's something Pat and I have gone over. Pat's even chirped me about it a little bit. And I think ultimately it always comes down to what styling people like as well. And people do enjoy kind of doing that fun work to them. Yeah. And it's pretty cool that Harley's kind of offering that. Like you said, there's packages right out of the box to do their own customization. But yeah, again, I think we'll be seeing more about with these new motors, just because they are starting to catch on. Like, people are kind of starting to slowly, those traditional Harley riders are slowly starting to accept them and get interested in those.
And I think this is what it takes. You got dealership employees who are now buying them for their own bikes, and when they understand them like they have traditionally on our touring platform, they start to get excited about them. Mm-hmm. And when you're talking to a salesperson who has that level of excitement, you buy into it, you believe into it, and we're slowly growing it. And don't forget, it only launched in 2021.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. Awareness and consideration starts to build over years.
I'm a bit biased because I ride a Lowrider ST. That's still going to be one of my favorite bikes. Like, I just love the styling of that bike. I like the look of it. It's a bit of a throwback bike still. I love that bike, and I know Dan's going to be a Road Glide guy. Now, I want a Road Glide, he wants a Lowrider ST. But that being said, I think I know the answer. But what's your favorite 2025?
I still love my Road Glide ST from last year. That's a 24.
Yeah.
For 25, okay, I think I told you guys I had a Lowrider ST in 23. I'm looking at an S now because for me, I now have the bike that's going to give me the cargo, the wind protection, the long haul.
Yeah.
And I don't need another ST, but I go S because for me, I want something cruiser in the city. That's my highway bike. I want something that I can zip around. And to me, the S just has that look like I'm just getting out on the road and just time to myself. I'm going to have some throttle therapy. Yeah. I'm going to have some fun on it.
Yeah, it's true. It's like we call it the day ripper. It's just get out there and those things perform.
Yeah.
Oh, they're amazing bikes.
Yeah.
It's all of them are. Like, we took our bikes from California to Toronto back in 2023. We rode them. Yeah, we rode.
Dude, that's so bad.
It was incredible. Honestly, the bikes were great the whole time. Like,
Except when I lost my fob. I lost my fob on the side of the road in the desert.
Okay.
We get to the hotel, turn off my bike, we go to check in, get back on the bike to move it, and I'm like, it's not turning on.
I hope you have your pin.
I didn't for a day.
so the story.
I remembered it the next day. We filmed the whole vlog on it, but I remember that pin very well.
So the first thing I do at the dealership upon delivery is I record the pin. You never know.
Me too.
You never
Honestly, I was given the pin when I got my bike. I put it in my phone, stored it, wrote it down in a few different places. Yeah. And thank God I did, because I even went to look for it when he lost his, just in case. But you got anything else?
I think so.
Thanks for your time, man.
Yeah.
Hi, Dan. Hi, pleasure to meet you.
From Indestructible.
Yes, I saw your page this morning.
Oh,
Super
right
cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Who's the ex-barber?
That's every week.
Awesome.
Yeah, Matt's a tattooer.
Help me out before I leave the show.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done that.
His fiance is a barber too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.